So welcome everybody to the webinar tonight. I really appreciate you all taking the time out. I appreciate you getting on here. Again, I'm going to share some really good stuff with you. Stuff that I think honestly is so simple. It's so easy. And some of you guys on here honestly are probably going to think, are you serious? You know, is that easy to convert your leads? I mean, literally, some of you, it's going to be so easy, it's going to go right over your head. Some of you might think this is difficult. I think it's easy. Of course, I've been in this a while, so maybe you know, that might be partly the reason. But I want you to know that what I'm going to show you tonight is not difficult, and the premise of it is it really comes down to one thing, and it's called value. Okay? If there's one word you learn in this industry, you should learn it. It's called value. And you really need to learn that in a practical way. It needs to permeate everything you do in your business. It's all about value. And if you can learn that, everything I'm going to tell you tonight, everything you're going to see falls under that umbrella of value. Okay? When you understand the value concept, it's going to be very simple to convert leads into sales and signups. Okay? So let's dig in here. So how to convert your existing leads into sales and signups in your business like clockwork. And I promise you, if you do what I'm going to tell you, you will, over time especially, you'll begin to see some big results in your business. So let me ask you a few questions before we get started. And I want you to answer these in your mind. I want you to really think about these. What if you could send out one email to your list and make money whenever you wanted? Think about that. Think about how would that make you feel? Probably pretty good, I'm assuming. What if you had subscribers that replied to your emails asking for more of what you're offering? See, a lot of people can't get that concept in their mind because they've just never experienced it. But I want you to think for a second. What would it be like to send out an email and you get a reply back from some of your subscribers saying, oh man, give me more, this is great stuff? Get that thought in your mind, okay? How would it change your family life knowing that people were willing to pay you for almost anything you promoted because they trust you so much? Now you see, one of the things that I'm going to tell you here is that in this business, it really comes down to trust, okay? When you're online, there is certain things that we have to overcome. And definitely one of those is the thing that we're online, okay? And you're actually sitting right now watching this in one of the key ways that I'm going to show you on how to connect with your leads, okay? So just imagine that for a second, that people trust you and they're willing to pay for almost anything you promote because they have that trust in you, okay? So I'm going to tell you briefly my story. I don't want to get into too much of it because I know a bunch of you already know my story, but for those of you that don't, again, my name is Mark Harbert. I have been in this industry for over 13 years now, and I absolutely love it. I love this. This industry has set me free. I never have to work for anybody ever again, okay? Ever again, because of what this industry has done for me. Okay, it has given me the vehicle to be able to go out and you know, create my own lifestyle, to create my own living. Okay, and so what I'm going to share with you tonight, I'm not sharing a bunch of theory with you. I'm going to be sharing with you stuff that actually works because it's what I do every single day. But my story, I lived in Southern California for 8 years working for corporate America. Now, corporate America is not a fun place to work. Okay, at least it wasn't for me. Some of you may enjoy your job. That's awesome. I didn't. I hated it. Most people I talk to on a daily basis, probably 80 to 90% of them, dislike their jobs heavily. Okay, my good buddy Robin, who's on here, just retired. Good job, Robin. Robin retired from his job of over 40 years. So super proud of him for that. That's for sure. But you know, I was laid off when the recession hit, and I lost my house, my 2 cars, basically everything my wife and I owned was gone. We were so in debt up to our eyeballs, we could not see, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel. And if you're anything like I was, you know how difficult that is. It's very, very hard to see past your current circumstances. I could not have dreamed where I'm actually sitting right now today, in my life, where I've actually, separated from, the everyday rat race. I don't have to deal with that anymore. I work my own hours when I choose to. I have the freedom to take my wife out to lunch if I want to any day of the week. She doesn't work either. It's a great blessing. So I decided to move to Chile and start over in December of 2009. And many of you know my story, but in 2009, I moved to Chile. We lived there for 4 years. I built my six-figure business from Chile, from my computer and an internet connection. Okay? So what I'm sharing with you tonight, mind you, was from a remote location in a foreign country, and it worked there, and it'll work for you too, no matter where you are in the world. Okay. Now, as of 1 month ago, just over 1 month ago, I moved back to the United States, and I live just outside of Tampa, Florida, northwest of Tampa, Florida, and in a little city called Trinity, Florida. It's an up and coming. It's a new community. It's like only a couple years old. Really, really, really nice here. I love it. It's awesome. So I have generated over 23,000 leads online. I'm not saying any of this to brag. Trust me. I just want you to know that you're talking to somebody who has done it. I've actually got results in my business, and I don't say that again. I don't say it to brag. I'm telling you it because I want you to know that I've actually been out there and done the deal. Okay. I'm the number 6 all-time leads producer and the number 1 attraction marketing system online out of over 90,000 affiliates. Okay, number 6. I'm also number 6 all-time for signups in the number 1 attraction marketing system online out of 90,000 affiliates that have gone through the system in over 5 years. Okay. I have personally recruited over 1,000 plus people online in various programs that I have promoted, and I am the top producer I've been the top producer in 3 different companies, and I accomplished some of those with my business partner, Frank Marino. He's not here on this webinar right now, but he certainly has been an integral part to my success as well. And I have sold over 1,000 plus units of my landmark video marketing traffic course, which Robin, who's on here, was one of our beta testers in that course. And it has created literally more success stories than any other video marketing course online, including some top earners who are now making 5 figures per month based upon what we taught in our course. So we definitely took a lot of time in that course. And I'm not saying any of this to brag. I am just saying it because I want you to know that I've got the results to back up my. I walk my talk. Let's put it that way. All right. So, all right, guys, that's enough about me. I want to get into it. I want to give you the meat of what you came here for, what you paid for, and I certainly hope that you get the value of what we're going to share, and I hope you get the concept of it. Because really, this is going to be some super, super important stuff as you go forward. One of the things that you'll hear about online, and you'll hear me talk about it too, because it is a critical part of your business, is lead flow. Okay, leads, literally, they are the lifeblood of your business. If you don't have fresh prospects coming in on a regular basis, day by day by day, your business literally will begin to shrivel up and eventually die. That's how important and crucial leads are. However, okay, there is another side to it. Okay, another side that most people don't teach. And it's another side that you need to know that is just as critical. And that is, now that I've got leads, which, to be honest with you, leads, in my opinion, are some of the easiest things to come by. Leads are not that hard to generate once you learn the strategies and put them to practice, okay? But once you get the leads, now it comes down to, how do I convert them? How do I actually make money from my leads? I'm generating the leads, but how do I get them to buy my affiliate offers? How do I get them to sign up with me in my network marketing company or my direct sales company? That's the question people have, and that's where most people get in their business. I've actually watched people who are making, generating 20, 30, 40, 50 leads a day, and they're really not making the type of money that they should. And you want to know why? It's simple. It's because they're not applying some of these very simple strategies that I'm going to talk to you about tonight. All right. So let's dig in, guys. Let's rock and roll. Now, during the webinar, we are going to, I don't want you to ask questions here on the webinar. Okay. I'm not going to open the question and answer. What I want you to do is go over to my fan page on Facebook. Okay. And you can get there by going to markharbertfanpage.com. If you haven't liked the page, just like it, and you can ask me a question right on my wall. We're going to go there afterward. And if you guys have any questions at the end, we can certainly answer those. And you know what? I'll spend as much time with you as you guys want. We'll hang out for, an hour or two after the webinar. I don't care. We don't have to stay that long. I mean, I do need to go to bed tonight, and probably you guys do too. But, head on over there, and, at the end, we'll go over there and we'll answer some questions, okay? And but that's markharbertfanpage.com. It'll take you right over to my Facebook fan page, and you can, we can interact there for sure, okay? So again, the top 5 ways, this is what we're going to cover, the top 5 ways to convert your leads into sales, signups, and raving fans that beat down your door asking for more. Are you ready? Here we go, okay? The number one thing that most people need, okay, it's very simple, and get ready because you might go, oh, okay. If you don't have it, it might not make sense to you. But the number one thing that you need to convert your leads online is this. You need to create a personal blog, okay? You need to create a personal blog, okay? And here is the reason why. A personal blog is your home. It's your home online, okay? It's where you can actually, bring people in, invite people in. It's like when you're out and about and, you're with family, what do? You invite them into your home. And when you invite them into your home, what do people start doing? They look around the house and they say, wow, that's a nice picture you have over there. Wow, that's a really nice table. Where'd you get that? That's really cool. Wow, that's a really nice tablecloth you got. Isn't that what happens when people go to other people's houses, when you invite people over? That's typically what happens, and I'm going to show you that is exactly what happens with leads when you send them to your personal blog, okay? Now I'm going to give you some ideas here, and I'll write these down, okay? When you create a personal blog, now it's very simple to do. Basically a blog is for branding purposes, okay? Now it's very important because there is a process that you need to go through with your leads, okay? Remember this principle and write it down if you've never heard it before. People buy from those they know, like, and trust. People buy from those they know, like, and trust. People buy from those they know, like, and trust. Okay? That is super important. Your blog is that place where people can get to know you. Okay? There you go. People need a way to get to know you, like you, and trust you. And on your blog, you can do that. This is your personal space online that you will do business with and get product sales. Trust me, I get product sales every single day because I do this with my leads. And obviously all you guys are on my list, and maybe some of you haven't been on there very long, but I am always creating value on my blog and sending my leads to my blog, and there's a reason for that, okay? And I'm going to continue to share that with you, all right? You want to create content on your blog around what you do and provide value that should be your prospects, not our prospects, but for your prospects that help them solve their problems. You see, entrepreneurs get rich. And you know how entrepreneurs get rich? They solve people's problems. Okay? Think about this. Every time you drive down the road and you're looking at a billboard, what is it doing? It's solving a problem somewhere. I was driving down the road the other day, and I look up, and it said, are you overweight, got stubborn fat in some area? freeze your fat off, you know, and I'm like, what the hell is this thing, you know? But what they're doing is they're supposedly, I don't know if this works, but they're attempting to solve a problem for somebody who is overweight. They're looking to get rid of some of that fat, and you know what I mean? So when you go down the road, every single billboard, every single thing is meant to solve a problem that somebody has. Okay? Now, I was at the store the other day. You know, we just moved here, so we've been, going around looking for stuff, furniture. We bought a whole bunch of brand new furniture and, things like that. And we went to the store and we were looking at, getting a bunch of dishes and things like that. And I see this little thing, that is, in the kitchen area, and they're selling these little things that pull out the, the little stems on strawberries. And I'm like, wow, why would somebody do that? I can pull it off with my hand. But then I thought, well, I live in Florida. This is like the #1 retiree state in the whole country, I think. And, as people get older, they have arthritis. It's hard for them to pull those things off. So they created a little, tool that helps them pluck it out with very little effort. And I thought, man, it's ingenious. That's entrepreneurialism. They're always solving problems. If that's the case, if that's the basis of true entrepreneurialism, why would it be any different for our niche here? Why would it be any different for the, for the home-based business niche? If you're in a company that is a health and wellness company, what is your goal in that health and wellness? Say you sell healthy shakes. Well, aren't you trying to help people get healthy? Aren't you trying to solve their issue by helping them lose weight, get healthy, more energetic? Isn't that the whole premise of your business? You're solving a problem. So why would it be any different with your prospects and your leads? You must solve their problems. Okay? Plain and simple. If you can't help solve their problems, they're not going to buy from you. They won't. Okay? So it's very important that you understand the real problem that your prospects are facing, no matter what it is. Okay? And you want to create content 3 to 4 times per week, if not more, that helps to solve their issues. Okay? And I'm going to talk to you in a little bit about what kind of content you can create and the purposes of that content. Okay? And this is what it takes when it comes to doing business online. Business online is the most leveraged type of business, I think, in any type of network marketing, meaning when you can truly use the internet to reach the masses, you're going to get great results in your business. You're going to. Okay? So here's what your blog, this is important. Your blog doesn't have to be perfect. Now, I'm not going to show you how to set up a blog on this webinar. Okay? That's not the intent of this webinar. It's not to show you how to, set up a blog. You can do that anywhere. You can go to, YouTube and type in how to set up a WordPress blog. Okay? And you can learn it. There's places you can go, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. You preferably want a self-hosted WordPress blog, and it's the best with a header that has your face on it. Okay? Really, that's what you want. You want your face in front of people. You want them to see who you are, connect with you, and that's how you do it. So you want to make sure you've got your face in there. Okay? Remember, this is about branding. It's about showing them who you are. Okay? Outsource your blog setup on Fiverr.com for $5. Somebody will set up your WordPress blog if you don't know how to do it. It's not hard. And you can find, some with, provide many options for you that will install certain plugins for you and functionality. But understand, when you're setting up a blog, it's not difficult, okay? But it's necessary, okay? In the long term, if you're in this for the long haul, which I know many of you are, you want to have a home base online. It's super critical, okay? It's super critical. Now, for me, blogs have kind of shifted. They've kind of shifted. Now, some people may disagree with me on this, but you can still use blogs to rank content in the search engines, okay? You can still do that. However, I don't use my blog for that purpose any longer. I used to, but I don't anymore. My blog is solely for branding purposes. That's what I use it for. It's to show me. It's my home. It's where I invite people. Okay? So it's not, again, it's not difficult to set one up. Don't make it more difficult than it is if you don't have one. Okay. Now, you want to go with for gigs with good feedback. Now on Fiverr.com, it's called a gig, and what that means is basically that's a job that somebody is willing to do for you for $5 or $10. Sometimes it's a little bit more with some of the add-ons, but really you shouldn't pay much more than $20 to $25 to have your blog set up. Okay, it's very simple. You don't even have to do it yourself. Okay, but go for gigs with good feedback. Okay, install a basic theme for now, and later you can upgrade as you get better and as you understand it more. Okay, it's not that hard. Like I said, YouTube is your best friend. Okay, it's the #2 search engine on the entire world with videos that show you plenty of how-tos on how to use a WordPress blog if you don't know how. Okay, keep it simple, guys. And I'm warning anybody that's watching this video right now or watching this webinar, it's super critical that you understand you do not need perfection. One of the biggest things that holds people back in this industry is they think that everything's got to be perfect. It's all got to be set up just right, and I can't start sending people to my blog until it's absolutely perfect, and the graphic fits perfectly here, and it's just that is the biggest business killer, is procrastination. Don't fall in that trap. Just get a blog up and go for it. Okay? Ray Higdon, one of the best bloggers in our space, in my opinion, for the longest time, he had the crappiest looking blog I think I've ever seen. It was horrible. I mean, he had a blog, and if Ray, if you ever get to watch this video, I'm sorry, man, but it was pretty bad looking. It was, like 960 pixels wide, and his header was like 700 pixels wide. Didn't even fit up there. It looked horrible. It was so out of place. But you want to know something? The guy became a multiple six-figure earner blogging with that blog. It wasn't really functional. It just didn't really work. But the guy become a multiple six-figure earner with a blog like that. Okay? He's a seven-figure earner now. Okay? But he, made massive waves in his business using a blog that was not very pretty. Okay? So don't fall in that trap. Okay? I know other leaders out there that their blogs are like, it doesn't look all fancy and nice. Okay? And they're still making multiple five figures per month. Okay? So just a little tidbit there. Make sure that when you set up your blog, you have a My Story page. Okay? Now, you can always go over to my blog if you want to, and you can take a look at markharbert.com, but I have a My Story page set up. And what that is where I'm talking essentially about my story. I'm telling people who I am, how I got my start in the industry. I'm telling them about who I am, my family, so that they can get to know me. Okay? And as well as on that blog, you want to have a products page. And a products page, even if you don't have products, if you're an affiliate, you can have affiliate products on there. Okay? And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tie all this together here in just a few minutes. I'm going to tie it all together so you'll understand why you want to have these pages. Okay? Again, the My Story page is so people can find out who you are. You can have a video on there. You can have testimonials if people have made any testimonials for you. You can have pictures of you at events. You can have pictures of you with leaders or whatever it may be, because what it does is it's branding you. I can't tell you how many people have written me and they've said, Mark, I just read your My Story page, and I so connect with you. I really appreciate who you are, what you've done, where you are, and I just want to really get to know you better. I'm like, wow, man, how powerful is that? How powerful is it that I have somebody writing me because they got to know me from reading what they read on my blog? And I have so many people that are on my list that read that stuff, and they come to me 6, 7, 8 months down the line and said, I've been on your list for this long. When I read your My Story page, I said, man, this is a guy I want to learn from. And I haven't been able to afford to buy something, but now I've got money and I can actually buy something. I really want to work with you in some way. You know how many times I've heard people say that? Probably hundreds of times over the last 2 years. I'm not kidding you. I've had people say it over and over and over again. How does that happen? Because of I built relationship with my list. Okay, I built a relationship with my prospects, and I'm going to show you more about that as we go forward. Okay, so now with the products page, you can have products listed on there that you believe in and that you support. Okay, I wouldn't just recommend that you go and throw a whole bunch of crap on there hoping that somebody buys some. Put products in there that you actually use or that you've purchased yourself, things that you believe in, things that you know can really benefit somebody. Okay, like, okay, now if you want to, if you're looking to attract people in the health and wellness niche, what you can do is literally you could have good products on there, for your company if you wanted to, that provide good value to the buyer. Okay, you could list them on there. Okay, and you'll see why in just a moment when I tell you this. Okay, so again, make sure you have a My Story page and you have a products page. And the My Story is really huge. You want to put some time and effort into that to really make sure you communicate your message of who you are, what your goals are, what your vision statement is. I recommend you write a vision statement and be just totally transparent about who you are. Some people tell me that I tell too much about myself. Well, you know what? I do it because I believe in the vision that I have, and I believe in the path that I'm on. And if you can transfer that belief and that passion to people that read your blog, I'm telling you, when you send your prospects to your blog, they're going to catch that fire. They're going to catch that vision that you have. All right? Blogs, again, they're like your home online that you invite your friends to. Okay? And there is no place more intimate than the home. Okay? And that is how you want to look at this. All right? Number 2, here's our second way. Okay? Now we have our blog. We want to create value-driven content. Okay? Content is articles, videos, articles like a blog post about something. For instance, let's say an informational post. You're in the health and wellness niche. You sell shakes. What about creating blog posts that provide value in the way of helping people to understand why their health is essential, what aspects can help them create better health? Okay, you're giving them some information as well as educational, and I got that listed here too. I don't know where, but educational posts. You're informing people and giving them things that can help educate them in the process. You see, some of the best people that make the most money in the world are the best educators. They're the ones that really educate their prospects before they buy. Now I'm going to give you an example. Okay, you guys know my wife and I, we just moved here to Tampa, and we just moved in. We don't have anything really. We came here with 8 suitcases. Okay, so we're like, we don't have anything. We got to go buy it all. So we go out and we're like, okay, we need a vacuum. We need a vacuum. How are we gonna? I don't know anything about vacuums. I've been to the store. I've seen them. I'm thinking, what's a vacuum cost? $100? $100 for a decent vacuum? Like, let's just go and get one. And so I'm like, well, rather than do that, why don't we go to like a specialty store that specializes in vacuums? Maybe we can get one that's good, it'll last us a while and whatnot. So I go into the store and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to spend maybe $100, $150. So I walk into this store with my wife, and it's nothing but vacuums from wall to wall. Okay. And we walk in, and this woman greets us, and she immediately greets us with a smile, and she's talking to us, great service. And we talked to her, we're like, okay, we want this kind of vacuum. And she's like, okay, well, I have 2 used ones over here if you're looking for a used one. So she shows it to us, and I'm like, okay. And she's like, but come over here. I want to show you something that just might change your mind about that brand. And I'm not going to tell you what brand it is. I'm just, I don't want to get any lawsuits here or anything. But, anyway, she comes over to this thing, and she starts educating me on how vacuums work. Okay, she's educating me and giving me information about how vacuums work. So she's vacuuming over this like suction valve that shows me the suction power of a vacuum. And the brand that I wanted, she shows it to me, and there's this needle, and it goes up and down, and it shows you like pour, decent, good, and like wow. That's the gauge, and the needle goes there. And this one was like in the poor range. And I'm like, holy cow. And she goes, now watch this. And she took this other vacuum and she put it on there and it just pegged it. I mean, like literally like that. The needle just pegged it and it was like past the wow. And it was like, I was like, holy crap, are you kidding me? She's educating me on like how this works and showing me in front of my eyes that like this is how these vacuums work. And then the husband comes and he comes over and starts talking to me and he's educating me as well. And I'm like, holy cow, these are the most passionate people I've ever seen about vacuums. I mean, these guys love freaking vacuums. I mean, their passion was all over their face. They're like so into vacuums. They're telling me from like 1960 to 1970 this was built, and then they built upon this technology. And I'm like, holy cow, man, I'm learning more about vacuums in this 20 minutes than I've ever learned about vacuums in my entire life. And I was so inspired by the passion that they had for vacuums. The vacuum they showed me was $400. $400. I'm thinking, dude, I came in here thinking I was going to spend 100, 150. But you know what? I walked out with a $400 vacuum. You know why? Because the guy showed me how it worked, the value I would get from it, the warranty it had, and how great it was. And you know what? I got my freaking money's worth, baby. I did. And you know why? Because the guy educated me. He treated me with respect. He showed me. He trained me. He educated me. He helped me to make a very informed decision that this was what you need and it will provide you. The guy was a genius, man. I learned so much from this vacuum sales guy. And just the passion he had, all that, it made the difference. And I said, you know what? If this guy can do it with vacuums, why can't I continue to do that in my business? Provide people value, be passionate about what I do, be passionate about getting people home with their families. If you can create that around you and your brand and your blog and your blog posts and your videos, I'm telling you, people will come running. Okay? This is how you do it online. You do it through your emails, you do it through your videos, and I'm going to show you in the content you provide. Okay, so videos, YouTube videos. This is some of the best way to connect with your audience. Okay, you connect with them through videos, YouTube videos, where you literally get in front of the camera. Yes, you get in front of the camera. Okay, and it's so easy nowadays to create videos. Okay, it's just so easy. Look in your pocket and pull out your smartphone. Okay, it's not that hard. It's not. I mean, I've seen people get held back by creating videos where he's like, well, I don't know what kind of camera I have, and I don't know if it's the best, and what kind of lighting do I need? Lighting, I don't have the lighting stuff, and I need to go get a DSLR camera, and I need to do this. And it's like, dude, you don't need any of that. Okay. Sure, maybe down the line as you get to be more proficient and better at what you do, you don't even need to start editing videos. Now, editing videos, I edit my videos. I do a lot of editing now because that's kind of the level that I've gotten to, but I didn't start out like that. Okay, I have videos out there that I've done no editing on. It's just pure raw videos that I still generate leads and sales from every day, even today. So you don't need to be real fancy to start out. You can pull out your phone and create a video literally right on your phone that you can upload to your blog later on, and put it on there, upload a YouTube video and put it on your blog and send your list to it. Okay? This is how we're talking about creating value-driven content. Here's another great way to provide value to your list. Interviews with leaders. Okay? Find a leader in your niche. Okay, let's say, again, you're in a health and wellness company. Find somebody, maybe in your company, who is extremely knowledgeable on your product that you have. Okay, and interview them and talk to them about why they need to be health conscious in this area, and then in the end you tie it into your product, okay, and why it's so good or something to that nature. But something that's giving them some educational content. All right, how-to videos. Maybe you do a video in how to upload a blog, how to create a blog, how to do a graphic, something like that. Little how-tos that show people and help them to get get results with what they're doing, how to market their business, any type of how-to video. There's no lack of ways to make content, guys. And sometimes I know it's like, well, I don't know what to create. What's your business about? What's your passion? What are you passionate about? Ask, what are you passionate about in life? What do you love to do? Are you a stay-at-home mom and you just absolutely love being a mother? Then you know what? Use that as your brand. Seriously, use that as your brand. Look, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I love to help other moms get at home with their children full time. That is a mission you can have, to help them get home with their families like you are, or whatever it may be. People follow that passion. They do. They'll follow it straight into where. I shouldn't say that, but they'll follow you right to the edge of the earth, man. And I'm telling you, people follow passionate people. People that have a vision, people that know where they're going. They will follow you. So anyway, get back to how-to videos. Review blog posts and articles. Maybe you create a review post, and this is a great way also to get sales on affiliate products and even get people to sign up in your business, is you create a review blog post or a video or an article or whatever. You post it on your blog, and it's valuable content. And guys, you don't have to be the best writer in the world, okay? You just don't. Put your heart into it. Just write how you talk. That's it. If you were sitting in front of a person and you were talking, as a matter of fact, you can sit in front of your computer nowadays and it'll transcribe what you're saying. So give that a shot. See if you can do it. That's the best way to create it. It's not difficult nowadays, for sure. But educational content that makes them feel like an expert after they read it or watch it or whatever. That's the kind of value-driven content you want to create. Okay? Content that empowers your readers or your prospects, your leads. Okay? You start to become the go-to person in your niche, and people will buy from you what you're selling. Okay? They will. Trust me. As you do this and as you do it over time, now, again, there's no magic pill to this. Okay? If you came here tonight expecting a magic pill, I hope I'm not disappointing you. Okay? Because there is no magic pill in this business. And I'm going to be quite frank with you. I'm really, really sick of all the junk that's out there online that makes it look like you can get rich overnight. Okay? It's complete and total trash out there. You can't get rich overnight. But what you can do today is provide some value and put it into the marketplace. Provide some value that somebody can look at and say, wow, that's good stuff. I like what this guy's doing or this gal's doing. And you create that value over time. People become, man, I was talking to a guy on the phone today, and you know what? It was the first time I ever talked to him. He's just getting to know me, and he said, well, you know what? I connected with you because I heard that you were the guy, when it came to YouTube marketing or video marketing, and I'm looking to get some coaching from you. How do we do that? And I talked to him. I just recently started doing some taking on coaching clients again, and something I love to do. But he heard, you're the go-to guy. That's what I heard. I'm like, really? Who'd you hear that from? So you know what I mean? It's because I put value into the marketplace. I'm giving value to the marketplace. That's helping me get known in my market. You see, myself and my business partner, Frank Marino, is not on here, but one of the things that we really became well known for was the value that we gave. And one of those ways that we gave, I'm going to share you, it's one of my points tonight that I'm going to get to. But we got really well known because we would, give people tons and tons of value, really helping them to move forward in their business. And we started teaching a lot about video marketing and how to do these things. And when it came time to launch our course, which we did, called Tube Traffic Mojo, we sold so many copies of those, and we've become so well known for that course because it's top notch. And I'm not bragging here. I'm really not. I'm just very confident in the content that we put there, that if you follow it, you'll get results. And that's what we did. So we were able to create a lot of value in the marketplace, and people have respected us for that, and it's great. All right? So I want to point this out, that content has two purposes. Okay. Again, content is, blog posts, videos, articles, could be just emails as well, but value-based emails. But content, really, I look at it from two vantage points. Number one, it creates rapport with your existing leads and prospects, okay, where you're putting out a very value-based post or information for them. And it puts new content onto the web that can be found for additional exposure and lead generation, okay, if you set it up correctly. And I'm not going to get into all that, but content is king. Content is huge. And if you want to be doing any type of marketing online, you really want to begin to get comfortable with creating content. And again, content in the form of videos are super simple to make, especially nowadays. And I'll reiterate that creating content in video form is super, super easy nowadays. You can do it every day. You can go out for a walk. I just went out for a walk the other day and I created a video on my phone and uploaded it to Facebook. It took me all of 5 minutes, and it was a way for me to connect with my Facebook friends, which, by the way, Facebook is a list. It's an email list. Okay. Well, I shouldn't say an email list, but it's a list. It's just like having a list of people on email. Think about it. It's the same thing. You post status updates. You're putting status updates. Who reads them? People. Well, when you send out an email, who reads them? People. You see? It's the same thing. So for those of you that think, well, I don't have a leads list. I haven't generated any leads. I don't have any. Well, you got a Facebook account? Yeah. How many people are on there? Well, I got about 750. You got a list of 750 prospects right there. Bam. So you got to think of things in a different way, okay? And think about what you can do. You literally, if you had a blog or you create videos, you can post them on your Facebook wall and people will see them. And guess what? You'll start to build rapport. People will start to trust you. People will start to come to you. All right? Number 3, we're going to get to number 3 here. Value-based emails that build confidence and rapport. All right? People don't like to be pitched all the time. All right? Just because somebody gave you their email doesn't mean that they want to be pitched every stinking email. Okay? Now, some people, you'll hear them say, be selling in everything you do. That's true. I believe that to an extent, but it has to be in a way that doesn't make it so obvious that you're pitching. Okay? Think about this. One of the best ways to think about how to get your prospects to purchase from you is to think of your own buying habits. Okay? What are your own buying habits? All right? And that's what's so crucial here. Okay? And I'm going to tie this into the blog here in just a second. Okay? But people don't like to be pitched all the time. Okay? They want to be appreciated. They want to be treated with respect, and they want to, they want to be given value. Okay? Send emails sometimes to your list without links. I do it at times, for sure, that inspire and motivate your list, which in turn, it creates a goodwill with your list, okay, with your prospects. Okay? People do it on Facebook all the time. I do it. I put out, value-based status updates all the time. I'll put a quote in there or something that I've been thinking about, or maybe sometimes I'll put out something that maybe is a little controversial to drum up some conversation, or whatever. But the goal is to get people engaged. And people are so blinded to blatant pitches. They're so blinded to it. I mean, it's just like, if I walk right up to you and the first time I meet you and I say, hey, how you doing? This is my business. Can I give you a business card? And you should really consider buying this because it's really good. I mean, immediately your defenses go up and you're like, blah. I don't want to be around you, dude. And that's the same thing people are doing in their email inbox, and they're doing it with Facebook. If you constantly are pitching on Facebook, man, you're just doing nothing but ruining your reputation. Now, I'm not saying at times you can't post a link and say, hey, listen, I've really got a lot of value from this. It's really taught me a lot about how to market properly. I'm really getting a lot of value. Here's the link. Check it out. If you like what you see, let me know. You can do that every once in a while, okay? And I don't do it very often, to be honest with you. I do it very little. Sometimes maybe like I'm promoting a webinar like this, I'll post something on Facebook, but, eventually, I try to make everything that I do based on value, okay? So send emails without links at times to your prospects, just to inspire and motivate them. Tell a story, okay? Send free gifts to your list. Trainings, articles you found online, it's another way to create goodwill and reciprocity, okay? Think about this. If somebody walks up to you and say, you know what, you're just such a cool guy. I want to hook you up. Here you go. And they give you a gift. A lot of times you're gonna be like, wow, thank you. That's awesome. I've had people come up to me and give me gifts and like, here, I wanted to just give this to you. I wanted to thank you for all the training you've done. And it's like, wow, I really appreciate that. And it's like, it makes me want to do something else to give back to them. You see, that's the kind of goodwill you want to create with your list. Okay. Avoid always over pitching. Avoid over pitching. I guess I messed up that slide. Always avoid over pitching and overselling. Okay, you never want to oversell. Now there may be times when you have a blatant thing that you want to send to people. Maybe it's a webinar you want to get people on. You probably received a bunch of emails from me tonight promoting the webinar. I wanted people on this because a lot of people need this information. Okay, it's critical. This is critical stuff to understand if you want to be successful in your business. Because I'm telling you right now, you can go out there and you can pitch, and you can get all fancy about, all these things, and, I'm going to study all this, and I'm going to learn how to, manipulate my prospect to make them, pull out their wallet and buy something. Well, you know what? It's way easier just to give value. It's way easier just to create some value. To me, it's way easier. I think you gotta learn to be too devious when you're doing that kind of stuff. Just give some value, add to people's lives. Get it in your mind that you want to better people's lives. If you can do that, man, you're heading down the right road. And if you really treat your leads like that, and the people that connect with you like that, you are so way ahead of the rest of the pack. Okay? So always avoid over pitching. There are going to be times when you're legitimately going to pitch. Okay? I'm not saying that, but it should be an exception to the rule, not the rule. Okay? So, and what I mean by that is you're going to overwhelm them with value that when you pitch, it's natural they're going to get value from it. Okay? Your pitch to value ratio should always weigh more heavily to the value side. Okay? Remember that. Your pitch to value ratio should always weigh more heavily to the value side. Okay? Now, I know you guys out there, well, how much? Exactly explain that. Give me a number. Okay? Okay, for all you numbers guys out there that really want a number, a 5-to-1 ratio is a good start. And what I mean is 5 value posts or emails to 1 maybe pitch email. Okay? So that's a good place to start. Okay? So you're giving 5 times more value than you are asking for in return. Okay? That's a good place to start. So things to understand about your leads. Your email list is your primary business asset, and it needs to be treated as such. Your list is your primary business asset. That is what is going to create business for you online. It's going to create an asset for you offline. Even if you're doing offline marketing, okay, if you're a network marketer and you're doing stuff offline, you want to create a Rolodex, okay? You want to create a Rolodex. I knew some offline marketers who had Rolodexes in the 4,000 and 5,000 range. People they met offline, It's like they were just collecting names, getting to know people all over the place so they could always refer to it. That's just a list. They're just creating a list. What about using the internet to even, take that list creation up higher than, than it would be elsewhere, okay? Sorry, just taking a drink of water there. Kind of squealed like a cat there, didn't it? It's my water bottle. Anyway, again, your email list is your primary business asset, and you want to make sure you treat it that way, all right? Your list is not for spamming links. I know that I'm hitting this hard, but it's so important. It's not for spamming links or programs constantly, okay? It's just not. you're gonna wear people out. Believe me, I've done it. It doesn't work. When you provide more value than you ask for in return, you're gonna get sales. All right? It's just gonna happen that way. Okay? Each email represents a person that you can build a relationship with. Now, this is important, and I want to make this distinction, and I want to make a distinction because I haven't really ever said this publicly or said it out loud, but you have to remember that every person that puts their email into your capture page or friends you on Facebook or connects with you in some way is a potential person that you can build a relationship with. That kind of puts it in a whole different light, doesn't it? When you look at your list, instead of looking at your list like a moneymaker, it can be a moneymaker, don't get me wrong. You have to look at your list as a list of people that you can connect with, your asset. Look at them as your friends, okay? But you want to build a relationship with them, all right? Every email you send to your email list, again, must be value-driven. Remember, stories sell. Tell your story and how this industry has helped you. Or maybe this industry has inspired you to dream again. Maybe this industry has, given you a reason to work hard for your family and get out of the rat race. Tell that story. People connect with that. Why do you think, that reality shows are so freaking big nowadays? Now, some of the reality shows out there are just total trash. Okay, they are. And I don't really watch a lot of them. But here's the thing. Why do you think that people want to watch reality shows? Number one, they like to watch drama. But number two, they want to see stories. They want to see things that go on in other people's lives. Think about creating your own little reality show for people, giving them a little window into your life, so that they can see who you are and how you have gotten value from this, maybe a training you share on. Maybe you share them a marketing strategy, and this marketing strategy alone allowed me to generate, over 23,000 leads, and it changed my life and helped me to become a six-figure earner in this industry. That's my story, and that's what essentially, that's the story I tell, and it's very simple, guys, very simple. All right, here's a number 4 way that you can convert your leads into raving fans and buyers, and it's special offers and one-on-one time. Now, here's what you do. You can prompt your leads to reach out to you by putting your phone number in every email you send, okay? Every email. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I haven't necessarily done this all the time. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, and this isn't to brag or anything like that, but here's the difficulty sometimes. I have built a very sizable list. Now, I have put my phone number in the email at times. I actually did this one time, and I specifically sent an email to my list, and I said, you know what? I want to help you. Here's my phone number. I want you to call me, and it was a voicemail. And I said, leave me a message. Tell me about you, and what are you passionate about? What is it that you need help with? And you know what happened? I got so many people that left a message for me, I couldn't call everybody back. It was impossible. I didn't have a VA at the time. I didn't have anybody that could help me. It was like I was so overwhelmed with so many freaking people calling. I was just like, I felt bad too. So I was like, man, I can't get back to everybody. It's just impossible. I can't get anything else done. I'd been on the phone for freaking days, and it was like, when you're doing that and you provide value to your list, people are going to do that. They're going to respond to you. So that's a critical thing, so anyway, you can do that. But if you haven't built like a massive list, this is super important. Okay, even if you're on here and you have 50 leads, if you have 10 leads, even if you don't have any leads in your autoresponder, you have a Facebook account, build a relationship with them, and then one day say, you know what, I'm totally into helping people. What can I do to help you in your business? I've generated 2,000 leads on YouTube, and if I can help you do it, hit me up. I'll help you. You know what I'm saying? Something to that effect. I'm just giving you an idea here, but it's about, putting that out there, okay? And offer a free coaching call to your subscribers, or do a free coaching Friday, where you have people reply to your email and ask any question they want, and then you in turn can go create a video with the answers to those questions, and then send your entire email list to the video. Okay, prompt them to reply back to you with questions. All right, it's very simple. People love one-on-one time that helps them to move forward in their business. All right, there is one thing that I've learned in this industry, is that truly the greatest gift you can give your prospects is your time. Now, I'm not exactly saying go out there and give all your time away for free. I am certainly to that point now, but it's very rare that I give my time away for free. Okay, and it's not that I don't want to, it's that I can't. Okay, like I said, I've built a very big, sizable list. I've got a lot of reach out there, and it's not, again, it's not to brag. I'm not saying, I'm just stating a fact. It's very difficult for me to give up free time. Okay, occasionally I'll do it, but it's very hard. Okay, I have some existing coaching clients that I'm working with. I absolutely love the people I'm working with, and I really appreciate them, that pay me for my time. And I unfortunately can't always do that, to give away time. But when you're just starting out and you don't have a ton of leads, your time is the most valuable thing you can give somebody when you're starting out. And as you start to build, you can then begin to start charging for your time. Okay? And eventually people will get to a point where they're willing to pay you for your time because they realize the value that you provide to them and how you can help them. Okay? So people love one-on-one time. They do. And they're willing to pay a premium for it. Exactly what I put here. They're willing to pay a premium for help and guidance. Okay? So if you have somebody that absolutely just really wants you to help them step by step by step, don't be afraid to say, well, listen, I understand where you're at. I know how to do this, but my time is not always free. I can help you here and a little bit there, but if you want my more really, really in-depth, eye-to-eye attention, here's my price. If you can start out with $25 an hour or $50 an hour, work your way up, okay? But just understand people are willing to pay premiums for your help and your guidance, okay? Your goal is to make it real for them, okay? If there's one thing that I absolutely love, it's to help people realize that this industry is real, okay? And a lot of people don't think it's real because they haven't made any money with it. But I'm telling you, when you make that first few dollars, oh, trust me, it becomes real fast. Okay? When I made my first $1,000 online, you better believe it. It was real for me then. It was real, baby. And I knew that I could do it. And I've been doing this online for several years now. Again, I've been able to really build a great business because once I made that first $1,000 online, boy, my belief level shot through the roof, and I said, man, I can do this. And that is what I hope to inspire in people, that this is not some rinky-dink, little home-based business. This isn't some little online scam. This is a real business that you can have. Okay, the internet just helps you to connect with more people. The internet's your tool to connect with a bigger audience. That's all. Okay, the principles of how you work with people are all still the same. They're all still the same. They're never going to go away. The best book you could ever read on the subject is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Go get that book and read it. Go get it and read it. It's no different when you're dealing with prospects or leads. You've got to learn to talk with people. You can't just sit behind a computer, send out an email, and think you're going to get millions and millions of dollars. It's not going to happen. You're still dealing with people. You got to have some people skills. Okay? You're in an industry that takes learning people skills. Write these down. Okay? Write this down. Take your pen, write down 2 books. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And the other one is Winning with People by John C. Maxwell. I read John C. Maxwell's book, Winning with People, probably 5 years ago. One of my favorite books today. I love it. I absolutely love it. And he really digs into it, and I love How to Win Friends and Influence People. You learn those 2 books. You read those 2 books. And if you don't like to read, I personally prefer audiobooks. I do a lot of audiobooks. I usually always look for the unabridged versions because I want the whole book, and I listen to them. I really retain a lot more when I listen. I've kind of learned my habits, but I do still read, but my preference is audiobooks. Okay, so go get some audiobooks. Go to audible.com, hook yourself up, and start filling your brain with stuff on how to work with people, guys. That's what it's about. Your email list is not just some thing that you pimp out all the time. Okay, it's real people with real problems that need your help. Okay, that's what you need to provide them, is provide them value to solve their problems. You do that, man, I'm going to tell you, you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to make a lot of money. And you're going to take it way higher because you're going to be providing so much value that word is going to travel about you and who you are, and it's like that is the go-to guy. You want people to say, man, Robin, I'm on Robin's list. What, you're not on Robin's list? Are you crazy? You need to get over there and get on his list. That's what you need to start providing for people, okay? That's the kind of raving fan base that you want to create. And you create it through the value you put out. That's all, okay? It's not difficult. It's just so not difficult. The easy way is to do it without having to think. Like little robots. I'm going to post my link on Facebook. I'm going to post my link in every email I send. Hi, buy this. Hi, buy this. I mean, it's like, guys, you're not robots. You're human beings with brains, okay? Use them. Use them to bless other people's lives. You're going to find it so much more fulfilling. It's going to take you further. Focus on how you can bless other people and how you can, really provide value, and people will come running from all over to get what you have. They'll come running like a magnet. So remember this, the best gift you can give people is your time. People want that time, okay? And if you can give it to them, and maybe at free at first until you can build up some of those skills, and then when you've really got some good value to offer, then you start charging for it. Okay? But that is a gift that you give people, because time you cannot get back. I'm to the point now for sure I don't give much of my time away for free. I just don't. You know why? Because it's too valuable. It's too valuable. Every time I decide to do a coaching call with somebody, that's time away from my family, okay, which I love deeply. That's the way you look at it. That's why it's the most precious gift. It's the best gift you can give. All right, number 5. Here's number 5 way to connect with your list and get massive, massive raving fans is do regular webinars. Okay? Regular webinars. Okay? I would go off to say maybe once or twice a month you do a webinar. And that's kind of the minimum. Okay? And when Frank and I really got going, one of the reasons we were able to create like such a community around ourselves was because we were doing webinars on a weekly basis. And we were creating just, a group of people, and people that really started to really love what we were doing, because it's so fulfilling to us to get on webinars and give value. I mean, it's so fulfilling, man. It's like, it's a drug. It's a drug when you're like, you can hop on and give somebody something that that you're giving them that somebody is going to find some value in. I can't tell you how many times I had people come up to me at live events and they said, Mark, I had my breakthrough on this webinar. Do you remember this webinar you did? And you talked about this. And I'm like, yeah, I remember that. Like, yeah, that was what made it real for me. My breakthrough came. I made my first $1,000 online because of what you said on that webinar. I'm like, damn, man, that's why I do this. That's why I do this. That's the kind of stuff that gets my blood boiling. You got to get that passion about wanting to help people. You can do that. You can do that. Trust me, it's so fulfilling. It's the most fulfilling thing you can do, is to help your fellow man. It's just awesome. All right. So do regular webinars. It's by far the best way to connect with leads on a regular basis. No doubt about it. Okay, especially webinars like this where it's people can see your face, and the hangout style webinars, just by far, over the last year and a half since hangouts have really been out there. I mean, they've really become big because it's like it's like, I remember, and I'll point this out. Robin, you still there with me? Yo, Robin. I don't know, maybe I lost Robin. Hope you guys are still on with me. But here's the thing. I met Robin. What was it? It's about a year and a half ago for the first time face to face, and I had met Robin on webinars and through Hangouts many times face to face before I ever met him in actual face to face. Outside of a webinar. And when I met Robin, I said, man, it's like I already knew him. I already knew who he was. It's just now he's real, standing in front of me. And it was like that was the rapport that webinars can create with your prospects. All right. Webinars provide the greatest leverage with more people. Okay. Webinars are massive leverage. They provide huge leverage. Okay. You can sell on webinars and people will buy from you because they know you're a real person. All right. They know you're a real person. They'll do it. All right. Hangout style webinars are by far the best webinars you can do on a regular basis because of the personal connection that they create. Again, kind of reiterating what I already said regarding that. All right. And you can do free webinars also that give value to your list, which also creates goodwill with your list. Very important. Do a free webinar and give away a prize at the end. Oh boy, we're giving away $25 to somebody. All right, at the end of this webinar. So do a webinar, give away. It creates goodwill. It's like have fun with it too, man. I love giving away free stuff. It's awesome. So personal connection is crucial to the success of your monetizing your leads. It's critical, and I hope that I've helped get that across to you guys. If you guys were expecting some magic subliminal trick, to how I monetize my leads, I probably didn't give you that because it all comes down to dealing with people. Now, I want to tie this together for you and put a bow on it, and I want you to understand that part of the reason that now let me go ahead and take my screen off here. Let's see here. All right. First off, let's take the screen share off. And are you guys still with me? I'm gonna put this chat on here. Are you guys still with me? I need to know that you guys are here. And it looks like Robin got kicked off. Let me bring Robin back out here. But are you guys with me? Kick on the chat here. Let me head over to my fan page here. All right, and let's see if you guys have posted anything. And I don't know if some of you are. Yeah, too bad I didn't come on. Robin got kicked off. Boo! Robin, you back?
I'm back. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Has everything been coming through okay, man?
Everything's been awesome.
Awesome. Great.
Dude, you nailed it.
Sweet.
Look at this. Look at this. I got pages and pages and pages.
That's awesome, dude. I love it.
Of amazing content. I mean, guys, this is amazing stuff.
Oh, good deal. Good deal. Yeah. I love to hear that. Let's head over here real quick. Okay, I got you on there. Okay, so we don't really have a lot of questions there. If you guys want to post some, go ahead, and we'll answer those. But cool, yeah. Hang with me, Robin. I'm gonna finish up here, but good. I'm glad you're getting value out of this. I know if you are, a lot of other people are too. So.
Always.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and bring my slides back on here. Let's go here. Bam. All right. Let me finish this up here. So definitely, guys, personal connection is crucial to the success of monetizing your leads. It's so critical. You absolutely have to. All right. It's just super important. But when it comes to your blog, okay, now I wanted to point this out, and I want you guys to really perk up and listen here. Okay, this is super critical. Okay, part of the reason now that you put your products page on your blog, because think about this. When you go to the store, okay, do you know how much money is made on impulse buys? Robin, you still with me?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, answer this question for me, Robin.
Yes, sir. Right?
When you go to the store, when you're standing in line at the store, how often do you look at what's on the racks there and buy
Every single time. God, I have to. I have to.
You want to know what? People do the same thing when they go to your blog.
Yes, they do.
They do the same thing. And what happens is people will go to your blog. They're going to read an article, a video, something you give that's high value, and you know what's going to happen? People are going to naturally peruse around your blog, and they're going to say, "Oh, what's this here? Oh yeah. Oh wow, that's really cool. This is this is a training on how to a $47 product on how to create leads using YouTube or something." And you know what's going to happen? They're going to buy it from you. You're going to get people that will buy from you because they go to your blog. I get signups, sales every single day because I send people to my blog. And you want to know something? I actually change it up quite a bit. I try to add new stuff, take stuff away. Sometimes I've taken stuff completely off and I just send people a lot of value, and then one day I'll go put some stuff back on and start selling some things. Because people naturally gravitate around your blog. They're going to peruse around, see what else is there, and they're going to come across your stuff. But you brought them in based on value. It's like oh, by the way, here's some other things that might be able to help you in your business. Do you see what's happening there? It's not a direct pitch, it's an indirect pitch. And people receive indirect pitches way better than direct pitches. Is that powerful or what?
Yep.
Absolutely. People will buy stuff. Trust me. That's why you need a blog. You need your home. Okay? You need your home online. If you don't have one, you got to get one. Okay? That's a critical piece of the puzzle when it comes to monetizing your leads. Look at every single leader in this industry. Every single leader, I guarantee you, in one form or fashion has a blog. Okay? They do. In some form or fashion. They're creating content in some way, and they're bringing their leads back to it, okay? And I've seen this even with some of the biggest people in like even the personal development niche. I did some work years ago before I really made it, really started doing my business full time in the home business industry. I was doing some work for some big names in personal development, and they would create content and bring people back to their blogs where they had their stores. It just made sense. And that's the same thing. Why do you think all these stores out and about, these big names, Target and Walmart and all these things, they're talking about they're doing sales. This is the Memorial Weekend sale at Best Buy. Come on in and get a DVD player for $29. You know what that is? It's a bait to get people in the store, because they know if they get people in the store, guess what? They're going to look around and buy other stuff. That's what's going to happen too on your blog if you have it set up properly. Total way to monetize your leads. All right. Here's the conversion cycle. I kind of threw this together. This is my thing. I just put this together myself. But if you look at the top there, the blue circle, it's like a value-based blog post. You can send them an email back to your blog. Hey, what's happening? Mark Harbert here. And have you ever had this happen to you? You ever, ask somebody to take a look at your business and they reject you? Well, maybe it's because you're giving off this or that. Well, anyway, I created a blog post for you today with a video in it, just to help you with this part of your business, something to that effect. And you send them back to your blog, and you'll get people that'll go back to it and take a look. Okay, and that's what you're going to do. Constantly drive them back to your blog. And in here you can send out a value email. Maybe no selling link in it, just some value, maybe an inspirational story. It could be a long email. And long emails, I'll just be honest with you, long emails don't tend to, convert very well at all. If you're trying to send a link, try and keep emails fairly short and concise. But you could send an email from time to time and just tell a story in it. Try to keep it short, but you don't have a link in it. Say, hey, I just wanted to let you know that you can do this. And I've sent out some emails like that, and I've gotten tons of replies back saying, man, that's exactly what I needed to hear today. Thank you so much. And think about that. If they're saying that, there's other people that are thinking that. They're just not emailing me back. So you create a lot of goodwill with your leads. Okay? You can create a value video. Okay? Maybe do offer a coaching. Hey, I'm doing a coaching webinar this Thursday night, 9 o'clock Eastern. Come on, bring your questions, bring all your Anything, any question you have about marketing, come on over. I'm going to answer it for you. I may even have a special guest on with me. So get over here. Let's get you rocking. And you just pull people into a webinar and you ask questions. Just could be where you're just sitting on camera answering questions for people. You have no idea how far that will go. You have no idea. Okay? It will create so much goodwill, and when you want people to buy stuff, when you're giving value, they will buy stuff from you. Now again, here on the cycle, we see the webinar. Webinars are a huge, incredible way to connect with people. Okay? This is what you do to create goodwill amongst your leads. Okay? And then eventually you'll have an offer and people will buy from you. Again, one of the best ways is to have your offers listed on your blog, in a way that entices people to peruse around your blog, and they will sign up. I'm telling you, they will buy what you have if you do it enough. Okay? People don't mind offers, guys. Really, they don't. Okay? I'm not saying that you can't ever send an offer to your list. Okay? Really, I'm not saying that. I do it. Okay? But you have to overwhelm people with more value, because what pisses people off is being pitched nonstop over and over. Okay? That's what ticks people off. What they want to know is some value. Okay? So balance your offers with value, and you'll become an authority in your space and niche. Okay? Balance it. Provide a balance. Overwhelm people with more value. I'm telling you, when I bought that vacuum, guys, I spent way more money than I planned on. But because that guy gave me so much value, I feel like he gave me $1,000 worth of value, and I spent $400. That was almost 3 times more than I wanted to spend. But you know why? Because he gave me so much value in the process. You see what I'm saying? It's the same principle with people and your prospects. All right? Give people what they're looking for and provide them the training they need, and they will come running to buy what you have. Okay? So guys, that is the webinar. I don't know, was that valuable? I hope so. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Head on over to markharbertfanpage.com. Head on over there right now. If you guys have any questions for me, I'll answer them. Honestly, we don't have a ton of people on this webinar. I think we're at around like 15 to 20 people. So it's not a ton, but we certainly we're certainly grateful that you're here. And like I said, I didn't promote this much. I got a couple emails out, and we got people that have come on, but I certainly want to give you guys everything that we can. Head on over to Mark Harbert fan page on my Facebook fan page, and let's answer some questions. Yeah, sound good? So Robin, you there,
Yes, sir.
man? All right, let's head on over here. So talk to me, man. Tell me what was your takeaway on this, man? What do you what do you think?
Holy. Well, we got to go through a whole webinar all over again.
Yeah, I hate to put you on the spot here, man, but I love putting you on the spot.
You know what? Am I on video here?
Yeah, put yourself on video, dude. There you go.
See that, right?
Yeah.
There. That was my biggest takeaway.
Oh, I can't read it 100%.
Okay, it says always solve problems.
Yep.
That was my biggest thing out of the whole. I mean, everything was awesome, but that was my biggest thing right there. Is if you're always, man.
Yeah. That's what it is, man. It really comes down to. It really comes down to is providing a solution for people, giving people the value that they need to move their business forward, or to solve an issue. No matter what it is, the biggest thing you can do is solve people's problems. If you can do that in a way that is non-salesy, non-pitchy, that gives them value, it makes logical sense for people to pull out their credit card and buy. It's just the way it is. And I don't know what it is about this space, but we get into this thing where we think pitching all the time is going to make people buy. And I have to ask people, well, did it make you buy? What made you buy? You must have found some value, some way in what somebody was offering you to buy something. So if it made you buy for some reason, you're gonna have to provide that same type of value to other people too to get them to buy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Mark, my partner and I mean, we give away more value than we ever pitch, and that's how we've been able to move forward,
Yeah.
and it's, really it's our heart is more, or my heart, our heart, but my heart is more about what can I do to help somebody else out. It's right in line with what you're saying. What can I do that's going to
Yeah.
change somebody's life
Yeah.
right now, right this second? What little teeny tiny thing can I do?
Yep.
And that could make all the difference in the world. And then every once in a while, I'll throw something out there, and it's magic.
Yeah.
It really is.
Totally. I'm gonna answer some of the questions we have.
Yeah, it's great what's on
Let me
here.
look on the fan page. If you guys, I really, okay. I know there's some here. Okay, here we got one from Aurora. To reach that level, do you need to get a large amount of leads? Well, here's the thing. I don't believe so. Now, that can certainly make a difference. Okay, getting a large amount of leads, of course, it's going to make a difference, and it's going to help you do it in a very rapid, fast way, because what's happening is you're creating an audience, and the larger audience you have, obviously, the better. But here's the thing. I also don't want you to think that you can't do it with very little leads. Okay, if you're getting 1, 2, even 3 leads a day, that's great. That's a great place to start. Even if you're getting no leads, guys, you have Facebook, you have friends on Facebook, you have people that you can connect with there. That's a lead list. Okay, start where you're at. That's the biggest thing that I can give you. You don't need a ton of leads to get started. Learning how to generate leads is very important. It really is. It's critical. Leads are the lifeblood. But, there also is the other thing. Leads are not the end-all, be-all. Okay? And you really do need to learn to connect and have some people skills in order to learn how to get people to buy from you. That's just a plain and simple fact. So you can get all the leads in the world, but if you don't have the skills to be able to connect with them, that's going to be difficult. So do I think you need a whole ton of leads? No, I don't. I think you can start right where you are with what you have and begin to build it from there. Okay? And it all just depends on the massive action you take. I mean, if you take massive action to get a whole ton of leads, yeah, trust me, it's going to make a difference. We've seen, some good friends of ours, some students who have gone out there and done massive things with our course. They've gotten major results out there that are now making 5 figures a month based on what we taught in our course, Tube Traffic Mojo. It's awesome to see, but it's because they took massive action. I'm talking balls to the wall, like grinding for months to make it happen. And you know what? Now they're getting the benefit of what they did. And a lot of people sometimes aren't willing to put in that grind. I still do grinding. You know why? Because I freaking love it, man. I freaking love it. I love to do this stuff. I eat it, sleep it, breathe it. I go to bed at midnight, 1 o'clock, 3 in the morning sometimes, and I can't sleep. You know why? Because I love it. I'm thinking about, oh man, how can I do this? And I saw a post on Facebook the other day, and it was how can you sleep at night knowing the possibilities in your business? And I'm like, I don't sleep at night because I'm always thinking about the possibilities in my business. Because it's exciting, man. It's exciting to know what you can create your own lifestyle. It's just a matter of how bad do you want it. That's what it comes down to. And you got to transfer that passion to the people that you're trying to get to buy your products and services. There's no magic pill here. It's just about you. And are people willing to follow you? Remember, people follow people. They don't follow products. They don't, well, if you're into Apple like I am, I follow products. So that's what it is. People follow other people. They don't follow products and companies. They follow people. You got to become that person that exudes that value. I mean, look at some of the biggest people in our niche. Man, they just exude value all over the place. And that's why people follow them. So It's no science. I gave you a little bit of, do this, do that tonight, but, eventually it's just about thinking about how can I give more value to the marketplace. The more value you put into the marketplace, eventually that value is going to start coming back to you in tangible dollars. That's how it works. So, good deal. Let's see if we got any more here.
Mark, Renee, and I did a webinar one time, and nobody showed up. Yeah, we did the webinar anyway, and we recorded it, and then we threw it out there, and we got crap loads just from the replay. It was funny.
Oh, yeah, I hear you, man.
Yeah, I mean, just, we put the content out there, and yeah, we got a lot of response, so you're absolutely right.
Cool. Well, we got some more questions here. Let me answer this. Aurora's got a couple questions too. If you give away a lot of value for free, let's say about video marketing, and what do you do with videos? How can you start selling a YouTube product if you teach all you know for free? Well, that's a good question. You know what? Don't give away everything. It's that simple. Give away some of your good stuff, some of your best stuff, but don't give everything away. If there's some secret little, trust me, guys, there is major value in my course, Tube Traffic Mojo. Super value. You can get killer results with what we have in there. Without question, we have results and proof. But there are certain little things that I do with my videos that I haven't really taught anybody yet. I haven't. You know why? Because I just don't, I'll save that for something. I'll save that for another course. Frank and I actually have plans to do another course, like a Tube Traffic Mojo Elite course or something like that. And it's all going to be about how to create good videos, even some, I have some of the little things. I can't teach everything all the time, but give good stuff, but you don't have to give away everything. Okay? You don't have to give away the farm. Just give enough that says, wow, and you can do that. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Judy. I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed the webinar. Awesome. What's up, Tracy? Tracy down in Australia. She's here with us. She says, I've been stressed about my copywriting not being great, but I just realized that perhaps I should concentrate on being more consistent with value each week. I used to do this in my birthing business successfully, but why is it that we think we should be different in this business? Tracy, you freaking nailed it. Oh my God, that's so right on. It's so right on, because really, like, I was the same way. I was actually like, man, I hope my copy's okay. And, it's not to say that you shouldn't learn some copywriting stuff, because it is important. Don't get me wrong. There's certain words and things that you can use that will help move, move people forward, And I actually have, you guys can't see it, but on my my bulletin board, I have a little tiny bulletin board right here that I can put stuff on. I have a list, and I can't give this away, unfortunately, because this is part of a paid course that I purchased. But I have a list of 230 words that are copywriting words that help to inspire action and inspire, that you can add into emails, copy, whatever. Like I said, I can't give it away, unfortunately. It's part of a paid product, but I have it there to help me, because copywriting is important. So definitely, but the key with it is to use it in a way that also creates tons of value in the eyes of your prospect. But you're so right, Tracy. A lot of times we focus so much on the details of things that aren't truly important, that if we just focused on putting value out to the person, doing what we can to really help them, that then we could really go much further. We could really get a lot better results, okay? So, absolutely. But here's another question from Aurora. When and how do you start promoting your business? When people come to your blog or via emails? Look, it's the same thing. Like, remember this. It's all about value to, it's kind of the value to pitch ratio. Okay? If you're providing way more value in your emails and your blog posts than you are pitching, it's okay every once in a while to put a pitch out. It's okay. But you know what? Because over time you're going to have built up so much trust with people through the value you provide, that they are going to, you're going to get people that will be interested. Okay. So again, it's more value than you pitch. Okay. And when you pitch, do it in a way, learn to be very, learn to pitch in ways that aren't so intrusive. A great way to pitch, I'm going to give you guys a little secret. A great way to pitch, write this down, is in your emails. If you have a product that you want to pitch, you'd be so surprised. A PS line gets tons of clicks. Like, you give a value in your email. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot to tell you. I came across this the other day. This product, I thought it was awesome. I bought it. I've gone through it. Total value is one of the best, $40 I ever spent. Click here if you want to check it out. Something like that. You know what I mean? PS lines are kind of that, oh, by the way, as well. If you guys are on my list, you've probably seen me do that. And I get a lot of clicks from them because it's not blatant in your face. It's more, oh, by the way, kind of off the cuff type stuff. Okay? After giving away coaching for a month for your team, would you charge them after that? Well, I don't know. I mean, I do coach my team. There's no doubt about it. Like, I have people that are on my I have an MLSP team with people who are in MLSP with me. I do offer that in terms of, help. It's more meant to, like, help them if they're struggling, having some issues with something. However, when it comes to, like, in-depth, like, if somebody wants real in-depth with, like, video marketing, like, they really want to spend, like, a lot of time with me, dig into my brain and find out, everything I know, then unless they're, like, in my primary company, I would probably say I'd have to charge them, for that. And it's really by a case-by-case basis. You have to be very careful also about how you give away your time. I'm not saying go out and just, like, freely, like, hey, I'm giving away my time. I mean, at some point, there's got to be a value exchange there. People got to see the value on your time. I mean, and they have to have some skin in the game too. I have people who I make like a $6 commission off of every month. I'm not going to go spending hours upon hours of time. I might respond to your email. And it's not that I want to be cruel or mean. That's not it. I'm just at a point where I have to put the most important focus on the things that not only create an income for me. I've got a family to feed as well and a family to take care of. I have to put my focus in those areas, but I also have to look out for the people who have the most skin in the game. Who are paying some money that are taking this serious enough. So I hope that doesn't sound bad. It's not my intent, but it is important to understand. So let's refresh here and see what else we got.
Kind of a psychological thing there, Mark, because really people appreciate value more. I just posted that in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
They appreciate the value more when it's something that they have to give something up for.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it.
Really, in a lot of ways, you're helping the other person if you do charge for it, because then they pay more attention and appreciate it better.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. It is, and people have an appreciation. Believe me, guys, I have a coach myself, okay? And I pay a lot of money for that coach. And believe me, I appreciate it way more paying money out for a coach than if he was to give it to me for free. You know why? Because a lot of times when people get stuff for free, they think they deserve it, they demand it. I mean, when you got skin in the game, money that you earned, that you put it in, you're going to take it a lot more serious. Trust me. That is just the way it is, and I gladly pay for it. I remember, I've been, a lot of you guys know that I've invested myself heavily in learning some paid strategies outside of my video marketing, namely PPV marketing. And I wanted some one-on-one coaching, so I hit up a leader that I know is really good at it and who's gotten lots of results, and I said, hey, look, I need some help with this. I really want to get some one-on-one coaching. What's your hourly rate? How can I pay you? I didn't go to the leader, and demand, like, you need to tell me how you're being successful with this. No, it was like out of respect. It's like, dude, you're rocking it. I appreciate you, man. What's your hourly rate? I really want to do a little coaching with you. I need to get some help on this. Can you help me with that? They're like, oh yeah. So what's your rate? $1,000 an hour. Boo! And I did it. You know why? Because I needed the insight. And I got that insight, and would you know, I made the tweaks that was suggested to me in that 1 hour coaching call that I paid $1,000 for. And I've already made that money back. I've already made it back. So knowledge is super important, and you have to go where the people are that know and have done it and get their insight. It helps big time. Trust me. It'll make all the difference. But you can't always be willing to give everything away for free. Give away enough that gives them tangible things that they can benefit from. And then you get to a point where you have to charge. You have to charge. But respect people's time, because that is the one thing that they can never get back. When they decide to give you an hour of their life, they'll never get it back. Okay? So, yeah, I appreciate all the nice comments. I get a couple nice comments on the fan page there. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. And good. Well, I think that's all I got. We've been on here almost 2 hours, so I think that some good value for you guys tonight. I hope you guys got your whole $7 worth.
Are you kidding me?
So, what can I say?
$7. This is gold. This is gold.
Good. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. But here's the deal. You guys are on the email. I'm gonna send an email out. I'm gonna get off here. We'll get the recording together. Once the recording's up, I will send an email out to you. And you guys can watch this over and over and over if you want. And hopefully you guys can take some of this stuff and start converting your leads better. Remember, guys, let me just recap it, and I'll drop you. And I won't drop you. And I'll get off the webinar here. But create a blog. Make your home base online. Make it your home. Put your My Story page on there. Make sure you have a products page. Put some time, thought, and effort into your My Story page. Tell your story. Maybe even get a video of yourself telling your story. Get some testimonials if you have them of people who have talked about you. If you don't, whatever. But get the get that together and put some thought into that My Story page. Give people a little window into your soul. Seriously, give them a little window in. Let them see who you are. Let them see your passion, what you're passionate about. If you're passionate about something, don't be afraid. Even if you think other people would make fun of you, so what? That's why God gave you a middle finger, boy. I'm convinced of that. The point is that you got to learn to just not be afraid of what other people think. Okay? Just get rid of that stuff. But put it out there. Let people see who you are. I'm telling you, you put your heart out there a little bit, people will connect with you. They'll love who you are, and they'll want to connect with you. So put some time and effort into that My Story page, and put that into your your emails once in a while. Hey, you know what? If we haven't gotten to meet, I hope we can someday, and hopefully we get to talk. Here's a little bit about me. You can head over to my blog. I have a page all about me. I just want you to know who I am and what my passions are. Send it out to your list. And you know what? People are going to go through it and read it, and then they're going to go, oh, what's this page? Oh, products? Oh, what's this? You're promoting this? Oh, man, that's great. That meets – I so need that. Click, and they're going to sign up. And it's an oh, by the way offer. Okay? So set up your blog. Get that going. If you have to, get a free blog. I mean, gosh, if you just want to get going, go get a free blog. Start out with that. Eventually upgrade to it. It's not that big a deal, So, but do that. Create value. Create good content that gives your prospects value, and learn to pitch in not a so blatant way, and you're going to get results from it. So I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
All right. Robin, you rock, man. Thanks for coming out, man. Surprise. You were my co-host.
Surprise.
All
I got
right.
my $7 worth.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope so, man. I'll be waiting to see if anybody wants a refund. If anybody wants a refund, if you didn't get value from tonight, all you do is hit me up. And then I'm going to post your name on Facebook telling everybody you got a refund, but, no, I'm just messing. You guys
Awesome
are
stuff,
awesome.
Mark.
I
Thank you
love
so
you.
much.
Appreciate you. Have a great night. Robin, you rock. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much.
Okay. Later,
See you
boy.
guys. Later.